welcome back. We're diving into some really practical stuff today.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, practical tips and conversations you can have with students. Yeah, to boost their media literacy,
Right.
in this crazy world of AI.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to zero in on,
Focus.
focus in on
Yeah.
AI-generated content that's
All over the place.
everywhere you look, and
Of course.
And of course deepfakes.
Yeah. It's both exciting and a little daunting, isn't it? How fast things are changing.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. So we've got some great resources today.
Awesome.
We're going to pull from AI for education, common sense education, and even some advice from the BBC.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully we can give you a
Yeah.
clear and concise
Yeah.
and engaging kind of journey through all of this.
Excellent. Well, let's set the stage first.
Okay.
One of the sources we have is a blog post by Heidi Neltner,
Okay.
and she talks about AI in the classroom and how, these media literacy conversations are becoming more and more crucial.
It's not even a question anymore of if students will encounter AI. It's when and how often, right?
Totally.
We got to prepare them, engage with it.
Thoughtfully, yeah.
Thoughtfully, critically.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
how do we even approach this?
Right.
Meltner highlights setting clear guidelines for students
Okay.
about, when AI is a helpful tool
Right.
versus when it's just not appropriate.
I see.
And AI for Education has this really cool guide
Okay.
that kind of visualizes this. So, it shows how AI can be used to generate review questions, for example.
It's like teaching good research habits, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't want them to just copy and paste from Wikipedia.
Right.
We need to give them guidance on using AI ethically and effectively.
Yes, I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just about creating content either.
Right.
AI is changing the way we even search for information online.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
Yeah. So think about it. When you search for something now, you're likely to see AI-generated summaries
Oh, yeah.
and responses right at the top.
Yeah.
It's convenient, but it can also be misleading.
Right, because it's easy to mistake those AI-generated snippets
Absolutely.
for actual sources.
Yes.
And Neltner even points out that they can contain factual errors,
Of course.
biases, even what they're calling AI hallucinations.
Yes. So we're almost training students to stop scrolling,
Right?
right? To accept the first answer they see as
Yeah, as the truth.
as gospel. But
Yeah.
we know there's so much more to critical evaluation than that.
Exactly. Yeah, so we need to be modeling that deeper dive.
Yes.
And showing them how to scroll past those initial AI responses.
Yes.
Find those credible sources and understand the difference between
Right.
an algorithm and a well-researched article.
And let's be honest, many students aren't used to scrolling that far down on a page.
Yeah, it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah.
And it's not just about search engines either, is it?
No.
It's all forms of media we consume.
Right.
Music, news articles, you see those celebrity photos,
Yeah.
and videos everywhere.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to tell what's human created and what's AI generated.
Which brings us to deepfakes,
Deepfakes, yeah.
which are both fascinating and a little bit unnerving.
A prime example of how AI can blur those lines between reality and fabrication.
And we have this deepfakes classroom guide that we're pulling from
Yes.
that really dives into this.
It does.
Explains how this technology can create these incredibly realistic but totally fabricated videos.
I know.
We're talking face swapping, voice cloning, lip syncing, all these techniques that can make anyone
Yeah.
appear to say or do anything.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about the implications.
Right.
Yeah.
And the guide highlights some serious dangers.
Oh, yeah.
Identity theft, threats, blackmail, cyberbullying.
Right.
Imagine a student's face plastered on a compromising video,
No, it's a parent's worst nightmare.
leading to harassment or even expulsion.
And it's not just some far-off possibility either.
Right.
According to this guide, since 2019, the number of deepfake videos online has exploded by 550%.
Wow, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. So how do we equip our students to navigate this?
Well, this Deepfakes Classroom Guide has some great tips
Okay.
for spotting fakes.
Yes.
And it's all about training your eye to look for inconsistencies.
Becoming a digital detective.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Those subtle clues that something isn't quite right.
Right. So think about things like unnatural skin texture, or blinking patterns that seem off, or facial expressions that don't quite
Right.
match what's being said.
Totes.
Even things like a blurry background or mismatched lighting
Oh, for sure,
can
yeah.
be a red flag.
And audio, too.
Oh, yeah.
Huge inconsistencies there if a voice sounds too robotic. Or the tone doesn't match.
Yeah.
That could be a sign of manipulation.
It's almost like using all of your senses to evaluate what you're seeing and hearing online.
Mm.
Are there other ways we can help our students unmask these digital deceptions?
There are some great resources out there.
Okay.
For example, Common Sense Education has a fantastic video on how to use Google's reverse image search.
Oh, reverse image search.
Yes.
That's a classic.
It is.
I use that all the time to see if a photo is legit.
It's a simple but powerful tool.
Yeah.
The idea is you upload a suspicious image
Okay.
or paste its URL into Google Images and see where else it pops up online.
So if it's a real photo, you'll probably find it on like legitimate websites or news sources.
Right.
But if it's a deep fake or a manipulated image,
Yes.
it might only show up on shady or obscure sites.
Exactly. And it's a great opportunity to teach students about evaluating sources.
Right.
And not just accepting images at face value.
Deepfake technology is constantly evolving.
It is.
Are there other strategies we can use to stay ahead of the curve?
Staying informed is key.
Okay.
There are so many articles, videos, podcasts out there that delve into AI and deepfakes. Encourage your students to explore these resources and stay up to date on the latest developments.
And I think having open conversations about these issues is crucial.
It is.
Talk to your students, colleagues, friends, family,
Yeah.
anyone who's interested.
Right.
The more we talk about these challenges,
Mm-hmm.
the better equipped we'll be to address them.
Absolutely. It's about creating a culture of awareness
Yes.
and critical thinking.
Well said. Wow, so much to think about.
Yeah, and there are some online deepfake detectors that can help, but they have limitations.
Right.
Deepfake technology is constantly evolving.
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to stay vigilant.
Yes.
But technology is not all bad.
No, not at all.
What about when students are the ones using AI?
Right.
How do we make sure that they're using these tools responsibly?
That's where prompting comes in, right?
Okay.
We need to teach students to treat AI tools like ChatGPT
Right.
and Gemini as thought partners,
Oh, interesting.
not just magical answer boxes.
I see.
The way they phrase their requests, their prompts, that can dramatically impact the quality
Right.
and the reliability of the output.
Like the difference between asking a vague question versus
Totally.
specific, well-defined question.
Exactly.
Let's dive into that a bit.
Okay, let's do it.
What's that first S all about?
The first S is for setting the scene.
Ooh.
It's all about defining the role you want the chatbot to play.
Gotcha.
So instead of just saying, tell me about Shakespeare, you might say, you're a Shakespearean scholar,
Okay.
helping high school students understand Hamlet.
So you're like giving the AI a persona to work with.
You are.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it gives it context and it helps tailor its response.
Okay, what's the next S?
The next S is simplifying language.
Okay.
And this is about using clear, concise language
Right.
that the AI can easily understand,
Mm-hmm.
avoiding jargon, complex sentence structures.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, think of it as like speaking to someone who's still learning.
Right. Straightforward.
Okay, what's next?
The third S is structuring output.
Oh,
This one is all about controlling how you want the AI to present the information.
interesting.
So do you want bullet points, a chart, maybe even some emojis?
Right.
Giving the AI those instructions can help you get the information
Yeah.
in a format that's easy to digest.
I love that, like telling the AI how to organize its thoughts.
Exactly.
Okay, so we set the scene, simplified our language, and structured the output.
Love it.
What's the fourth S?
Being specific,
Okay.
it's about providing clear, detailed instructions.
Gotcha.
So instead of saying, tell me about recycling, you might say,
Right.
create a list of 5 debate topics about recycling for a 9th grader.
Such a good example.
The more specific you are, the better the results will
Okay,
be.
and last but not least,
Sharing.
sharing.
This one is all about giving feedback to the AI
Okay.
and being willing to revise its output.
So it's a two-way street.
It is. They're still learning these tools.
Right.
Your input helps them improve.
We're not just passively consuming information. We're actively shaping it.
We are.
I love this framework.
It highlights that collaborative nature of working with AI.
Yeah, but even with the best prompting,
Right.
we still need to be mindful of accuracy and bias.
100%, yeah.
AI tools are only as good as the data they were trained on.
Exactly.
And we were talking about earlier how that data can be incomplete or even biased.
This brings us right back to that humans in the loop concept.
Okay.
AI can be a powerful assistant, but ultimately,
Yeah.
it's up to us to ensure that the information is accurate and
Yes.
used ethically. Can't just assume students will inherently understand these nuances.
Right.
It's on us as educators to
Yeah.
give them those tools to navigate this new landscape.
Totally. Yeah, we need to be having these conversations about responsible AI use, especially when it comes to schoolwork.
Right. Transparency is key.
Okay.
When students use AI for their assignments, it's important for them to be upfront about it.
So no sneaking in a chat GPT-generated essay and hoping the teacher doesn't notice.
Exactly. Think of it like collaborating with a classmate.
Okay.
You wouldn't just submit a group project without acknowledging everyone who contributed.
Okay, so honesty is important,
Yes.
but how much detail do students need to provide?
Right.
Like, do they need to write a whole paragraph explaining every single way they use AI?
It really depends.
Oh.
It depends on the assignment
Gotcha.
and the teacher's expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a simple sentence like, "I used AI to help brainstorm ideas," is enough.
Okay.
Other times, a more detailed explanation might be necessary.
I could see a teacher saying, okay, you used AI, but walk me through your process.
Yes.
What prompts did you use?
Yeah.
How did you evaluate the AI's output? What was your role in shaping the final product?
Exactly. It's about showing that you understand the limitations of AI and that you've taken steps to ensure the accuracy and originality of your work.
And let's not forget about citations.
Yes, citations are important.
Even when using AI,
Absolutely.
it's important to give credit where credit is due
Yes.
to the original sources of information and ideas.
100%. And there's actually APA and MLA guidance
Wow.
on how to cite AI tools like ChatGPT.
Citation styles are evolving.
They are. It really shows you how AI is changing the research and writing landscape.
Yeah, so beyond the classroom, how do we, as educators, teach students to evaluate
Right.
the reliability of information they find online,
Yeah.
especially when so much of it is AI generated?
It starts with understanding the limitations of AI training data.
Okay.
Many freely available tools, like ChatGPT,
Right.
were trained on data up to 2021, some updated to 2023.
Okay.
That means there can be significant gaps in their knowledge.
Yeah, especially about recent events.
Especially about recent events. It's like trying to use a map from 1999 to navigate a city
Right.
that's constantly changing.
You're going to run into some roadblocks.
You are, and those knowledge gaps can lead to what are called AI hallucinations.
AI hallucinations. That sounds trippy.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's basically when the AI tries to fill in missing information by making educated guesses,
I see.
which can result in misinformation and even bias.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we prevent our students from, like, falling down the rabbit hole of AI hallucinations?
It goes back to that humans in the loop concept.
Okay.
AI can be a fantastic tool, but we can't take its output as gospel.
Right.
We need to teach our students to verify information, cross-reference with reputable sources,
Yes.
use their own critical thinking skills.
So important.
AI for Education offers a fantastic acrostic to remember this by.
Like a checklist.
It is. It's a checklist for responsible AI use.
Love that. Okay, let's break it down.
Okay.
First, we have evaluate. What does that look like in practice?
So it's all about taking a critical look at the AI's output.
Okay.
Does the information make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any red flags that make you question its accuracy or bias? Exactly. Then we move on to revise.
So taking that initial AI output and making it our own.
Precisely.
Okay.
This might involve rephrasing things, adding your own insights, or even removing sections that aren't relevant.
AI is a starting point, not the final product.
Exactly.
Then we have verify. This one seems especially important given those AI hallucinations we talked about.
Absolutely. This is where those good old-fashioned research skills come in.
Right.
Don't just take the AI's word for it.
Right.
Check the information against reputable sources.
Facts over fiction.
Yes.
Okay, so we've evaluated, revised, and verified.
We have.
What's the you all about?
That's a powerful reminder that you are ultimately responsible
Oh, wow.
for the information you use and share. AI can be a tool, but it's up to you to use it ethically and responsibly.
Taking ownership.
Yes.
I love it. And finally, we have engage.
Engage. This step is all about being an active learner.
Go ahead.
Not just passively consuming information.
Right.
Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and don't be afraid to dig deeper.
Curiosity is key.
It is.
Every framework is so helpful.
It's a good one.
It's like a roadmap for navigating the world of AI.
Yeah.
is forcing us to level up our media literacy game.
It really is. We can't just be passive anymore.
Right.
We've got to be critical, curious, proactive,
Yeah.
you know?
And those are things we can model for students
Absolutely.
every day.
Every single day, yeah.
And the more we talk about these issues
Yes.
with students, colleagues, communities,
Right.
the better prepared we'll all be
100%.
for whatever comes next. I feel like we've covered so much ground today.
We have.
From basic media literacy to the complexities of deepfakes and the ethics of AI.
I know, it's a lot to process.
It is.
But at the end of the day, it all comes down to empowering ourselves and our students
Right.
to be discerning consumers of information in the digital age.
Very well said. So as you continue exploring the world of AI,
Yes.
remember to approach it with an open mind,
Mm-hmm.
a healthy dose of skepticism, and a commitment to using this powerful technology for good.
Keep asking questions, keep learning, keep sharing your knowledge.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, keep exploring.